Night has fallen, quiet, calm, and it should be a time for rest. But is your mind still racing? You're lying here, in the silence, but kept awake by the whispering worries about tomorrow. You feel so tired, your body is begging for rest, but your mind refuses to be still. Every shadow in the corner of the room seems to remind you of unfinished tasks, pending bills, difficult conversations you have to face, or a future that feels so uncertain. You try to close your eyes, but all you see is a long list of what-ifs. What if I fail? What if I disappoint them? What if none of this goes according to plan? Your tiredness is no longer just physical, but a tiredness of the soul, a weariness born from a battle you're fighting alone in the dark. If this is what you're feeling, know that you are not alone, and tonight there is a path to the peace you've been searching for. Restlessness at night feels different, doesn't it? When the outside world grows quiet, the world inside our heads just gets louder. Without the distractions of the day's busyness, every small worry feels like a giant. Every fear finds its voice, and every doubt feels terrifying. This is a deeply human struggle, a silent battle on the bed that should be our place of peace. Often, we even feel guilty for not being able to switch off our thoughts. We blame ourselves for overthinking, for being too anxious, or for being too weak. But let's look at it from another angle. Think of these worries as a signal, an alarm from our soul, saying that the burden we're carrying is too heavy to lift alone. The racing thoughts are an echo of a heart burdened with responsibility, hope, and love for tomorrow. It's just that this burden was never meant for you to carry all night long, to the point of stealing your rest. The hardest part is the feeling of isolation in the middle of the night. We look around, and it seems like everyone is fast asleep. We feel like the only person in the world kept awake by the storm inside our head. Worries about work, the health of someone we love, family finances, or difficult choices, they all feel so urgent in the silence. We keep replaying past mistakes while trying to design a perfect future, an impossible and utterly exhausting task. At its core, this restlessness is a spiritual struggle. It's a battle between our desire to control everything and the reality that so much is beyond our control. The night in its silence forces us to confront our limitations. And it's right at this point, at the bottom of our weariness and despair, that a gentle invitation comes. An invitation to stop fighting alone. An invitation to admit that we need help. We need a place to lay down all these burdens, even if just for one night, so we can truly rest. Tonight, we will learn how to accept that invitation. Amidst that storm of thoughts, there is a spiritual principle that has been an anchor for restless souls for centuries. The principle is simple yet profound. The principle of surrendering or entrusting. This is not a sign of weakness, let alone giving up on problems. On the contrary, it is the strongest act of faith, an acknowledgement that there is a strength greater than ours, a wisdom deeper than our understanding, and a provision far more certain than all our plans. The Apostle Peter in 1 Peter 5:7 captures the essence of this principle beautifully. Cast all your anxiety on Him because He cares for you. Let's pause for a moment and soak in this sentence. Cast all. The original word carries the meaning of throwing something upon. Imagine a little child carrying an overly heavy backpack. They drag it with great difficulty. Their steps are faltering. Their breath is labored. Then their strong, loving father comes. The father doesn't just say, "Let me help," but holds out his hands and says, "Here, give that bag to me. Throw all its weight onto me." The act of releasing the bag is a picture of surrender. All your anxiety. Notice the word all. It's not just the big worries that are worthy of bringing to God, but all of them. The anxiety about a presentation at work tomorrow. The worry because your child has a slight fever. The fear of an uncertain future. Even the nagging, distracting thoughts at the end of the day. No worry is too trivial or too complicated for Him. This invitation applies to everything. And why should we do it? The verse gives the most comforting reason. Because He cares for you. This is the core. We are not throwing our burdens into a void. We are entrusting them to a person who actively and lovingly cares for us. He cares about your sleep. He cares about your restless heart. He cares about every detail that is keeping you awake tonight. Surrendering worries doesn't mean we become passive or shirk responsibility. Tomorrow morning we will still get up and do our part. But tonight, when it's time to rest, we are invited to let go. We stop trying to be the God of our own life and allow the true God to take over the night watch. This is the bridge from restlessness to calm. A bridge built on trust, not our limited understanding. Tonight, let's learn to cross that bridge. Saying surrender might sound easy, but how do we do it practically, right here, right now, in our beds? Let's try a few simple steps, not as an empty ritual, but as a way to train our hearts to release and trust. Do this gently, without force. Step 1. Conscious breathing. Let's start with the most basic thing, our breath. Anxious thoughts often make our breathing short and shallow. Let's change that. Lie down comfortably. Gently close your eyes. Now take a deep, slow breath in through your nose. Feel your stomach rise. Count to 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for a moment, then exhale slowly through your mouth. As you exhale, imagine you are releasing all the tension in your body. Release it in your shoulders, your jaw, your forehead. Repeat this a few times. Breathe in and breathe out. Each inhalation is a gift. Each exhalation is a chance to let go. Now let's give meaning to our breath. As you inhale, say in your heart, "God, I receive your presence." And as you exhale, say in your heart, "I surrender my worries." Inhale, "You are my peace." Exhale, "I release my burden." Do this until you feel your body's rhythm slow and your heart become a little calmer. Step 2. Giving thanks. Worry tends to make us focus on what's wrong and what we fear. A powerful way to fight it is with gratitude. As in Philippians 4, verse 6, we are encouraged to present our requests with thanksgiving. Gratitude changes the way we see everything. Still with your eyes closed, try to remember your day again. Don't focus on what failed or was difficult. Find just 3 small things you can be thankful for today. Maybe a warm cup of coffee this morning, a smile from a friend, or the simple fact that you have a roof over your head and a bed to lie on. Nothing is too small. Name them one by one in your heart. Lord, thank you for food today. Lord, thank you for the strength to finish my work. Lord, thank you for my family. By acknowledging these small kindnesses, we remind ourselves that even in the midst of trouble, God's hand never stops working. Gratitude softens a heart hardened by anxiety. Step 3. A prayer of surrender. Now, with your heart more prepared, it's time to truly cast your burdens. Talk to God honestly, like a child to their father. You don't need poetic words. Use your own language. Start by naming your worries one by one. You can pray like this in your heart. Good Father, you see me here, unable to sleep and restless. My heart feels so full. Tonight, I choose to trust your promise, and I want to surrender all my burdens. First, I surrender my worry about work tomorrow, about that meeting, that deadline, the relationships with my coworkers. I've done my best. The rest I place in your hands. Please give me wisdom and calm. Then I surrender my anxiety about my family, my worry about the health of say name, my fear about my children's future. Lord, you love them more than I do. I entrust them into your care tonight. I also surrender my burden about finances, the fear of lack, the pressure to provide. You are my provider. Teach me to trust in your provision day by day. And finally, Lord, I surrender all the fears I can't even name, this vague feeling of unease. Whatever it is, you know, I release it into the ocean of your love. Take each worry, name it before Him, and consciously imagine yourself placing it at the foot of His cross. Feel the weight lifting from your shoulders. Step 4. Releasing and forgiving. Often what keeps us awake is not just worry about the future, but also hurt from the past, even from today. Anger or resentment that we hold on to is a heavy burden. Psalm 4 verse 4 invites us to tremble and do not sin. When you are on your beds, search your hearts and be silent. It's a call to make peace before sleep. Check your heart. Is there someone who hurt you today? A word or action that still stings? In God's presence, make the choice to forgive. Not for them, but for yourself. Say in your heart, Lord, I choose to release my anger toward, say name. I surrender my hurt to you. Heal my wound. By releasing bitterness, you open the last space in your heart to be filled with peace. After we go through those steps of surrender, what remains? What remains is a promise, the pinnacle of tonight's journey. David, a king whose life was full of trouble, wrote in Psalm 4, verse 8, "In peace I will lie down and sleep, for you alone, Lord, make me dwell in safety." This is a remarkable statement of faith. David doesn't say, "I will sleep when my problems are solved." He says, "I can lie down in peace and sleep right now, in the midst of all my troubles, for one reason: his trust in God as his guardian." His safety lies not in a controlled situation, but in the person who is in control. This is the peace that transcends all understanding, a peace that sometimes makes no sense to the world. How can someone sleep soundly when tomorrow is uncertain? How can a heart be calm when there are so many reasons to be anxious? The answer is because this peace does not come from the outside, but from the presence of God within us. This peace is the fruit of surrender, a gift for a heart that chooses to trust rather than worry. As you lie here now, after entrusting all your burdens, allow this truth to sink into your soul. You are safe. You are not alone. There is a watchman who never slumbers or sleeps. He is the one watching over you tonight. You may rest. You are permitted to stop fighting. Your task tonight is not to solve all the world's problems, but only to rest in His provision. Let your body relax. Let your breath become deep and regular. You are in the safest place in the entire universe, in His care. Think of this as practice. Maybe tomorrow night you'll need to do it again, and that's okay. Every night is a new opportunity to train our hearts in the art of surrender that brings peace. If this reflection has blessed you, share it with someone you know who might be struggling in their nightly silence. I also invite you to share in the comments section. What worry did you surrender to God tonight? Your story could be a strength for someone else. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so we can keep growing together. Now, close your eyes. There's nothing more to think about, nothing more to plan for tonight. Everything is in His hands. May the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, guard your hearts and your minds. Rest well. Sleep deeply, for He who watches over you will neither slumber nor sleep. God bless you.